Awesome. Hi, everyone. How are you? My name is Monica. Thank you so much for speaking with me today.
Thank you for doing this.
My first question is for Julio. What drew you to this story and what made you want to tell it?
Well, my family is from Cuba, and so I'm an immigrant. I've had to deal with a lot of. I have definitely not had to deal with the challenges that these young guys face, but I've had to deal with the feeling of identity. Like I don't know exactly. I'm Latino. I'm Cuban, I guess, but I'm actually more American, and so I really resonated with that aspect of this story. And then, frankly, it was race in America is something that's since George Floyd has been a conversation that's been, I think, in a lot of ways very divisive. The way people have been approaching it, and so I felt like it was something that I wanted to explore on my own and see what I thought about it, and hopefully find a way that to make something that could maybe bring us together in some small way, you know.
Absolutely. And speaking about bringing people together, Brett, you were able to go to the screening at South by Southwest, and you're from Texas, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How was it, the experience of being able to, scream the film in your community?
Well, it was quite incredible actually, because I hadn't seen the movie. We shot it. I was there. I read the script. I know, everything that was going on. And I remember sitting in the theater, and Dennis and Laurie, his wife, who were also producers on the film, were sitting in front of me. And it was probably two-thirds of the way through the movie. I grabbed his shoulder. And he and I have known each other since we went to college together. I was 17. And went, Dennis. And he's like, yeah. I went, it's a great friggin' movie, man. And he's like, I know. And it was really wonderful. And the fact that we won the audience award even speaks volumes about how important this film is, because it moved people, which is what I hope happens when it comes out in theaters, and whether they stream it or whatever happens down the road, that people see it, they're touched by it, and makes them rethink maybe a little bit about how they treat people.
Absolutely. And Julio, for you, were there any particular challenges you faced when adapting the novel to the film?
Yeah, well, there was a script that was adapted from the novel, and so I was actually working mostly from the script that I was given, and I made adaptations to that script that Paco made. But I think from a personal creative level, I think the biggest challenge was trying to figure out how to walk the line of like exploring these ideas and keeping them relevant to today, because I'm sure you and I haven't dealt with the issues that these boys were dealing with in the 50s. And so, you want to tell an honest story that is useful, that we can figure out how to move forward, that portrays these young guys as this is not a movie about Latino victims. It's a movie about young guys who have a dream that are trying to accomplish something, and they face those challenges with honor and respect and dignity, and ultimately overcome. And I think I hope that that's something that could be an example for how we face any challenge, not just something that happened 70 years ago, you know. So that was really the main challenge, is making sure that it felt fair and honest. And I've been really encouraged that, as far as I can tell, even though it seems like it's a political topic, people from full spectrum, full left, full right, whatever, that everybody feels like this is just an honest portrayal, and just a good movie that you can watch with your family and walk away feeling good about. Yeah.
Absolutely. And my last question for you guys is, do you have any favorite memories from being on set?
My favorite memory was Dennis had decided, because was being that we were supposed to be playing that when we all play the golf game with the judge and Michael Robichaux, who plays the head of the golf course, and our wives. Dennis said he wanted to split two foursomes. You don't play an eightsome. And I'm like, well, but they own the club. Yes, they can. And we shot it in a way, and then Dennis kept insisting it was two foursomes. And I went to Julio. I said, how do you explain that I hit the putt and we're in the group ahead, and you'd be in the back of the fairway waiting to hit your approach? How I hit the putt in and we win. And Dennis was like, yeah, Brett's right. Brett, okay. And I love Dennis. He's one of my oldest friends, but it was just a funny moment for me. And Richard Robichaux, who was such a wonderful actor, he kept me in stitches constantly. So I just enjoyed the cast. I enjoyed shooting with one of my oldest friends, another movie that, we've done a few together, and working with Julio and his team, which was incredible. And being in Bogota again, because I lived there for 2 years on Narcos, so I really embraced that. So that was probably my favorite thing, and also the end result of what this movie is and what it says.
Absolutely.
Julio, you go.
Well, I think that there's a certain stuff that I think little moment. The actors just brought so many different things to the table. I think it was, Brett, that moment in the when the kids walk through the clubhouse after they win the tournament. That was, that's a very powerful scene, and part of it is because, well, Brett said, I feel like I need a moment. Make sure you get a moment of me seeming sorry. Like I need a little bit, and that beat. I think that beat is very powerful and helps humanize that whole character. And then the other part of that scene that's very powerful was Dennis, right before we shot, he said, we should have some Latinos like working in this place, and they can be watching. And so we very quickly grabbed a couple of guys. One of our producers actually is Mexican American. We put him in a waiter outfit, and we just threw them in the scene. And that's just a good example of how everybody was everybody was trying. Even Dennis and Brett, who have done, I think Brett, you've done 5,000 movies, I think, something like that. And these guys, but they still care. That's why they're so good at what they do. They still care, and they helped elevate the movie. So even though I get a lot of credit for the creative aspects of this movie, but the reality is, if there's anything I'm proud of, is that I'm just open to the amazing contributions that everybody kept bringing in.
Well, congratulations on the film. I watched it. I loved it. It was incredible. Congratulations. And thank you so much for speaking with us today.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you very much.